Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Grubby's Warcraft 3 Commentaries. You're watching Season 2, Episode 5, and the game that I'm going to be watching now is a team game actually, a 2v2 of Todd and myself against Remind and Soju. The scene is in Germany, in Cologne, at the Media Park number 5, where a lot of the WC3Ls were being held. We had a boot camp before this in Remscheid, a city that I've honestly never heard of before or afterwards, but it was our place that we boot camped for a week or 1.5 weeks, all of us, and it was really nice. We prepared a lot of special strategies, it bolstered our team spirit, and we went into the WC3L finals with a lot of good confidence. Now, for those of you who might not know, the WC3L was the league for Warcraft 3. The prize money by today's standards were perhaps not the very highest, but none of us really cared about that as it was the ultimate epitome of team spirit, team strategy, prestige for your team, and so on. So it was a very important element for putting your team out there in the limelight and saying, okay, we're one of the teams that deserve to be sponsored. We're one of the best teams in the world. And as Four Kings, we proved that several times. We won several WC3Ls. Now we had some excellent games against other European teams in the beginnings in 2000, early 2004, and so on. But the level was increased even more when several teams, like this Chinese team, World Elite, and MYM started picking up the very topmost Korean and Chinese players and playing in the league as well. And I think WC3L reached its most exciting periods actually when they joined as well, because you never knew. Like, they won a lot of the WC3Ls, we still won WC3Ls. And 2v2 was a very special element. In Warcraft 3, 2v2 was very interesting and deep, because not only do you have the heroes that you make yourself, but you've also got your allies' heroes and the opponent's heroes. When you put them all together and the possibilities that are possible with it, 4 heroes per race, 9 heroes of a tavern, there's a lot of different permutations possible. And one of the most diverse combinations was a Night Elf plus someone else, because Night Elf can make very good use of tavern heroes, since they can heal them up with Moonwells and cover for any potential weaknesses of longevity. For instance, if a hero has a lot of trouble when he gets low life, then you need your race's healing mechanics, and Night Elf has them very early. So heroes that don't start well, for example Goblin Tinker, but are really strong once they're level 5, 6 and so forth. Same with Dark Ranger. Night Elf was able to make use of them well. So a very popular racial combination in 2v2 was Night Elf plus Night Elf, and the second most popular was Night Elf Orc. To go anything else than Night Elf Orc required very good team play. I would say Night Elf Orc was probably the most dominant one. The second one was Undead plus Night Elf. They had a very strong ranged composition that can nuke out enemy heroes in very short order, and they can mass a lot of units, lots of Cryptians, lots of Huntresses. And that's kind of what you see, for example, in StarCraft 2, when you play team play 2v2, it's all about massing a lot of units. But Warcraft 3 was deeper than that. If you had a good strategy, you could survive the early stages in the game and create something more. And that's why the game that we're about to watch was so cool. I'd like to give a special thanks to BenQ Gaming Monitors. They are the ones that make this series possible. So without further ado, let's go into episode 5 of season 2. Now you see immediately money trading, so that Soju can make his Moonwell right away as his altar finishes. Oftentimes when you had a Night Elf in 2v2, his ally would give him 100 gold right away. Oh, actually, that's not true. That's not true. What am I saying? Actually, Undead often received 100 gold right away from the Night Elf, so that he could start his altar, crypt, his crypt, and his graveyard really quickly, so that you can have quick hero and still have quick crypt fiends. I haven't seen this that much. 100 gold being given to Soju right away. Let's see what that gets used for. Remind and Soju are two of the most outstanding players in Korea for Warcraft 3 of all time. Remind's micro was just insane. Very good game sense. Soju had very unique build orders and creep routes. And together they had a very good teamwork. So they were always very difficult opponents to go against. In Ramside at the bootcamp, Todd and I prepared a special strategy. Orc Human was not one of the easy compositions to play in 2v2. And when you do play Human, usually the 2v2 strategy against Human goes something like this. Focus down the Archmage, kill it, take him out of combat, and put the opponent at a disadvantage. The Blade Master would right click it, Demon Hunter would right click and mana burn it, Warden could Shadow Strike it. The Archmage was a weak link, and moreover, Human's economy is the most fragile in the beginning. All the peasants are at work and can get focused down. They only have 220 life, compared to a peon, for example, which has 250 and can hide in the orc burrows and shoot back. So while militia are a great resource to have and creep well and damage well, and they can join combat, early game, getting peasants harassed is can be very damaging. So you see right away the Demon Hunter and the Blade Master will be seeking out the Archmage. And since we knew this, we prepared for the situation a lot. We practiced with, I'm trying to remember, several German players. Thanks a lot for the practice. Orcs and Night Elves who would mimic situations that we would expect to face. So even though Todd has a very open build, which doesn't seem to make sense, it worked out for us because he wanted to be able to get into his own base very easily. He didn't want to get his Archmage stuck on the outside of his full wall off and then not be able to withdraw. So it seems counterintuitive. It's like, what if people come in with Huntresses and stuff? But he can still close it up later. And since he has an Arcane Tower, he has a lot of space to move around here, bring his militia in and make surrounds and fights. So it worked out for him. Instead of helping Todd keep his head above the water, Todd got to a point where he was comfortable defending double hero harass by himself with the early Arcane Tower, which allowed me to do counter damage. Sometimes attack is the best defense. So I've been attacking peons here for a while with Blade Master. Todd already has level 1.5 from this creep camp, and he says, okay, sure, I can't get any more creep camps than that. I know, I'm gonna be harassed, so let's not try, let's not waste any resources in that, and it allows me to tech without a Voodoo Lounge, because I don't expect to need it very early. I knew I was gonna just get attacked by burrows, and I have a lot of armor, so I wouldn't take a lot of damage from the burrows. Eventually, when I return home, I would expect to have a Voodoo Lounge and heal from it later. Now my tech has already been started and it's at about 10%, whereas Remind, if we look at his resources, he doesn't have enough gold to start it yet. It costs about 310 or 315 gold to tech to tier 2, and because he's not mining from gold right now, he can't. So I'm gonna get my second hero out earlier than him. Soju is already teching, he just started it, and if we look at his money, he has money to start another archer, but he is bloodlusted trying to kill the Archmage. So let's continue the game.
Our allies' town needs help.
See, now they're trying to get some peasants. They'll probably get one, maybe. Or maybe not. So very nice Arcane Tower, burns a lot of their mana away. And keep in mind that healing mana is 4 times as expensive from a Moonwell's life. So any mana damage you put on the Demon Hunter either will cost him a lot of Moonwell juice, or he has to wait till he regenerated his mana again before healing any life damage he might have. It's always nice, those Arcane Towers. Much better than Guard Towers against heroes. So I'm just taking down this Voodoo Lounge, which was in an awkward position, and I'm also starting to kill some peons. This is the first peon that I've killed. He's got some damaged peons in here, and he's still not mining. So right now Remind is at 21 food out of 30, whereas I'm already at 29 out of 30. Here comes my Voodoo Lounge, and I continue to harass some peons. Maybe I'll get one more. No. And I go out with my last Windwalk. And it would be greedy to try and hit a peon again. So Todd here creeping with his Archmage getting boots of speed, but he was beat to the punch by the Demon Hunter, which already has boots of speed and a dust of appearance. And he gets that dust to be able to reveal Blade Masters, and also to remove the option for Todd to buy dust of appearance, so that his own archers will not be at risk later. Bit of a mistake there, losing Ancient of War, spending too much time looking at his Demon Hunter, chasing the Archmage, and he unnecessarily lost it. The Ancient of War is actually a really valuable resource in the mid game when everyone buys their second hero, because it can eat the tree here and creep this camp without taking any significant damage on the entire army. Now, Todd built his Arcane Vault in a safe location. Thanks to having a very open base layout, he is able to hide a lot of buildings behind it, so that he doesn't need to make Arcane Sanctums in front, which can get cancelled by enemy forces. I got my boots of speed, I creeped a small camp, and I'm right back here trying to harass again. Putting pressure on this Voodoo Lounge, forcing him to repair or use burrows, again, chipping into his lumber resources. Todd could try to surround the Demon Hunter, but it will be quite useless. It's too powerful at this stage in the game, and level 1 Archmage doesn't add a lot of damage. Todd will go immediately to Castle, which is where we start to see, hey, this is a special strategy. Usually in 2v2, when you play a human, you either tier 1 tower rush the enemy to circumvent having to do the difficulty of defense, or you go for 1 or 2 Arcane Sanctums, which give you a lot of mid-game power. You get some Spellbreakers, some Sorcerers or Priest. Alternatively, you can go for Riflemen and Casters, or Riflemen and Mortars, but they scale less well against an Elf who would go for tier 3, Ancient of Lores and Druids of the Claw. Naga was hired here by Soju. We'll start to put more pressure. The Archmage is doing some kind of rescue mission, getting a Naga from the tavern actually, which will allow him to defend better against this. Still only a blacksmith and nothing else yet. Todd a little bit late on his blacksmith, was meant to probably make it a little bit earlier than that, so that he could start. What I can spoil you was going to be a workshop. I got to level 2 here, got the Gloves of Haste. Remind is creeping the same thing, got a Circlet of Nobility, and also he hired a Shadow Hunter. 2 bestiaries coming out here with the War Mill. Remind still at a little bit lower peon count. He's only got 5. He's got 2 peons missing. So his lumber is rather low. The 2 peons that I killed early game were never replaced. Here comes a fight with both Havar, Shadow Hunter and Grunts out. Me here in the blue color. I suppose I should be doing it like this. A little confusing to change the color now, but it's going to be more consistent. So I'm the green orc. I have 5 grunts here. And I just go for a single bestiary for now. Starting to make raiders. Todd being forced to be very passive here. You can see how difficult it is for him to creep with the Night Elf staying around here with his Demon Hunter and Naga. And now Soju says, I'm gonna start to creep this. I dare you to try and interrupt me. It's going to be at your own risk. I've got Dryads, there are Troll Trappers here which can trap your units. And it's generally too risky. I conquered this Watcher Ward and Creep Camp from Remind because I have more grunts. I had more grunts because I only made 1 bestiary instead of 2. And that's kind of the idea too, that I don't go too heavy on technical unit like Raider. I just wanted a lot of grunts to provide more meat shield, which would blend in well later with the army that Todd is going to be making. Now Todd starting his Knight and Mortar team composition, getting the upgrade first for Mortars, which upgrades the damage they do to unarmored and medium armor units, and it also, yeah, it's a lot of extra damage actually. And I think the AoE gets bigger too, the area of effect damage. More grunts coming out here for me. They're starting to take these big camps here on Turtle in the middle. These camps drop big consumables like Greater Heal, Greater Mana, and in this case they're going to get a Potion of Greater Healing. And we're trying to start creeping this too. I wonder if Todd will bring Militia for safety, just in case we get Creepjack. First Knight comes out, doesn't have the Animal War training yet, he's getting it now, which will give 150 extra life to him. As as well as for Dragon, Hawks and Griffin Riders, but we aren't going to be making any of those just yet. Now, if we look at Todd's vision, I should be feeding him money soon because I'm at 50 supply, I'm not making any borrows or war mail. I'm just going to be giving him a lot of money. Paladin comes out here, gets the Staff of Sanctuary. We're starting to creep this one. In the meantime, they did the same thing. They've got their first Druids of the Claw coming out, which will add a lot of damage. Roar, such a powerful ability. Everyone plus, what is it, 10% damage? I believe so, 10%. And the Kodo adds another 10%. Maybe it's more than 10%, like 25. I forgot. So they're creeping this big Ogre Lord here. My Blade Master's around here, wants to cancel it, and I did! I stole the big Ogre Lord, but it was too greedy. I lost my Blade Master in the process, so I steal a little bit of XP and gold, 60 gold, lots of XP, but I lose my Blade, and that's actually a really big issue. We were going to creep jack. I'm not sure if it would be effective, because our army isn't that large yet, but now that I lost my Blade, I can't anymore. Now I was considering buying it from the tavern, and I think we had a little bit of discussion there as I clicked my raider and I was waiting. You immediately start the Blade Master anyway from the altar, which is an option, and then you can cancel it if you think you need the blade right away. And maybe we figured we've got enough time, we're going to be defensive now, save the money, because instant reviving a hero from the tavern costs a lot more money. And normally it only costs gold, but when you instant revive it, it costs gold and lumber. And a lot more. Something like double. Now they make the same mistake, Blade Master getting focused down, but he will be able to use invulnerability in time to get away from here. Nice flying machine there, Todd. Getting that vision. Flying machine, a 1 supply unit, a 1 food unit that can reveal enemy invisible or cloaked units. Fight starts here, pretty good position for us. The Grunts and Knights blocking out the bears, while the mortar teams are shooting down dryads with great impunity. Knights, kind of this sluggish, big, very tanky unit that can stand toe and toe with Druids of the Claw, but don't deal nearly as much damage. Their survivability is really what makes them great. Now the mortar teams are starting to shoot at the raiders, which will take bonus damage as well on account of their medium armor. We had a heal ward already being used. Mortar teams are being focused down. Remind got real up close and friendly here. We're trying to hold our own here. Militia helping a lot. Knights doing their damage, and all the bears are low. Demon Hunter almost died and he had to town portal out. Paladin goes down by Remind, and he will have to town portal out as well. Can we get the Shadow Hunter? We cannot. They both town portaled out. It was a big, messy, ugly fight, and it is over for now. Now, Soju is at 54 food. He's got a lot of Druids of the Claw here. And he's getting another bear. Now, that's something I don't understand personally. Sometimes I feel like the other players, a lot of the Korean players, they didn't spend enough time on managing their economy, in the sense that when you go over 50 food, you will start to incur a tax. You only get +7, +7, +7 from your gold. Whereas when you stay on 50, you get +10, +10, +10. So he wanted to make that one extra bear to go over 50 already, just to have one more bear, even though the fight isn't happening imminently. Now if he had waited, he would be able to use both Ancient of Lords together now. He's only using one at a time at this point, so they want to be strong all the time. Maybe they were afraid of a counterattack, but I'm thinking there's only one camp left on the map. This big Ogre Lord. It's the last and most significant creep camp. Sure, there's a small one here, but this is the big one. This can drop a really significant item, like for instance an aura item like Endurance. Now if we get this one, that will be huge, and we do end up getting it. The item is not very significant, it's just strength and agility +4, but still, that's 100 life on my Blade Master, 4 extra damage, extra armor. It's pretty nice. Now the fight is starting here, we have some damage, but this one will drop Rune of Healing, and this is a pretty okay fight for us. I should expect to see Todd pull Militia soon, maybe bring his Paladin into fight. Actually, I'm not sure this is that good of a fight. They have a lot of buffs. Scroll of Protection, Roar, Paladin isn't here yet, Wisp from behind. I wonder if we need to TP here. Mortar teams are doing their work, 2 attack upgrades already, and here we start with the TP. And I feel like this town portal is actually way overdue. This was actually a good fight for them. Lots of buffs. Let's look at the situation. Todd at 61 food. I'm at 45. Remind's at 48, and the upgrades on this unit is 1 attack, no armor. Soju is at 56 with 2 Dryads in production, so he goes straight over again. He's got 1 attack as well, so very aggressive upgrade composition. And now all the creeps are gone. All the creeps are gone. It is no longer a choice anymore whether you'll be creeping, defending or attacking. Now the game kind of transforms. You're not aggressively disputing certain points on the map anymore. Now the game becomes who can get their first expansion up. Now let's theorize a little bit. If Todd and I wait until our money runs out, you can see when that is. There's still 3,700 gold in the mine. If we wait until our money runs out, and they do as well, they're gonna get a Tree of Eternity to uproot and walk to another base. Here. They will expand again and they will start getting a little bit of money. By that time, we'll all be around 70 or 80 food, if we wait that long. But with that extra gold that they get from the Tree of Eternity, they can buy extra items like more potions of invulnerability, more healing scrolls, scroll of protection and so forth. That's usually what late game money gets used for, extra items. So we probably can't wait. We're not maxed out yet, we have 68 food on Todd. He has the most important army. It's well upgraded. We look at mortar teams, 2 attack, and he's even working on the 3rd attack upgrade for mortar teams. Knights completely unupgraded. We've got Staff of Sanctuary here on the Naga Sea Witch. Dark Mage has nothing, and the Paladin just has the health item, Periapt of Vitality. And then I have 2 Pendants of Energy to get lots of maximum mana, although I don't have it right now. Waiting in this particular case would be decent for us, because there's still a lot of mana to be gained on all 5 of our heroes. Now let's look at that. Shadowhunter has the allied item Staff of Preservation. We've got the Blade Master with just a lot of heal souls, no mana. Shadowhunter has about half mana, but he's drinking from Clarity Potion. And Demon Hunter and Naga Sea Witch, they're pretty bare of items, devoid. They don't have heal scrolls or invulnerability potions, just like us. But Soju did already go over 50 food. So any items that he buys now have kind of like a 30% tax. If he had waited on 50 and buy more items from the Goblin Shop first and then add units, that would be more economical. But they're bruising for a fight. So for us to take an expansion right now is not absolutely crucial. Remind is over 50 food already. So if we wait in our own bases and I stay under 50 food as I am, and I just give money to Todd, well, actually when you give money to your ally, they incur the income tax too. So if Todd is the only one that I give the money to now, it would still be as if I got a tax, an upkeep on my gold mine. So if I save it up and then spend it myself, that would be the most economical. But since I don't have upgrades on my units and I don't have special units, it's not really like that. So in terms of who is waiting better for, I'm not 100% sure. I think it's better for them because in the end they can get the Tree of Eternity to walk over. So in between now and the next 1 or 2 minutes, we either need a fight when Todd is maxed, and we have some nice items here, 2 heal scrolls. Ah, okay, that's how I can add value. Yeah. If I buy items, it's not taxed. So that's how I can add value by being under 50, like I just said. But if we either we need a fight in a good position, or eventually Todd will have to take an expansion in the next 1 or 2 minutes. So then let's see. I like being the defender in situations like these. Todd coming from the back here with the nice peels, and Kodo are being shown. The enemy is in kind of a crunched position here, but as the bears come around the left, that is not true, so we are forced to pull back. I am still at 45 food. First raider here got ensnared. Now, if we go in here, down here, bears can stab us from the back. It's very important that the knights stay in between us. Look how we pull back a little bit. That's because we want to stay in this choked area so they cannot get to our mortar teams. The fight is starting in earnest. Bears are getting in position, getting decent surface area, but note that 2 cannot attack right now. The same is true for Knights, but the Knights don't care as much. Most of our damage is coming from mortar teams. I activate Speed Scroll. Speed Scroll will allow our units to get in position faster. It doesn't do a whole lot more than that, but it does force the Dryads to use their auto-abolish magic on Speed Scrolls, which will allow us to have more benefit of other potential buffs we put on. Too bad there aren't any. No Scroll of Protection. Nice Staff of Sanctuary there on the Knight. Nice Holy Light surviving. 2 Knights for now. Heal Wave going off as well. This Knight is still alive. Raider taking heavy damage here from the Druids off the claw. But the Mortar teams are shooting and doing some excellent damage. Notice the little sparks on Raiders as Mortar team shots fire near them. That's the effect of Fragmentation Shell. Lots of damage being added here on their entire line. We take tiny bits of splash damage from the Mortar teams, but it's definitely the brunt of the damage on them. Shadowhunter doing more healing. My Blade Master got teleported home with the Staff of Sanctuary, which was given to me by Todd so that I could use it to teleport my blade at home. It will be out of combat for now, because it will stay here until it's fully healed from the Staff of Sanctuary. But this fight was a bit of a rout. They have a lot of damage on their bears. They need to pull back, gain some mana on the druids, heal them, and wait until they can fight again. Overall, a good victory for us, because these mortar teams, 6 of them, Todd, you sick psycho mortar team fanatic. 6 mortar teams with 3 attack upgrades are doing some amazing damage. Now this would be a great time to get an expansion, I think. Todd is still adding a lot of army, but this is a good time. They lost a lot of forces, starting to remake raiders again. They had 1 Kodo Beast, but it got shot down by mortar teams really fast. So although it adds a nice damage boost, it was a big target. Problem is, raiders kind of suffer the same fate. Raiders do poorly against knights and grunts, and they do poorly against mortar teams if they can't get to them, because they take bonus damage. So I'm not sure why he's adding raiders right now. I feel like grunts would be good to add. Maybe grunts. The raiders give micro potential though. I guess what Remind is doing is offering a support role for his ally as well. Just like I'm doing. I have unupgraded grunts and raiders. I'm just supporting my ally who has the major tier 3 army. Upgraded mortar teams and knights. Todd now getting Flare, which will allow them every now and then when cooldown runs out to reveal invisible units and reveal portions on the map. So let's take a look at our vision, how we use that. Fireworks here, we reveal everything here. Blade Master should stay safe. I'll click all the heroes. I see, oh, he has Dust of Appearance, so you cannot stay near. What if he randomly uses it? There we get an ensnare on this raider. 1 free kill, very nice. While Todd continues to long distance mine with 1 peasant. Nice. He already took 210 gold out of this mine. Seems like a joke, but 210 gold is worth more to us right now than 100 lumber or whatever. Or 200 lumber. Knight rejoined the fight here. Ironforged swords just upgraded, so he actually went ahead and upgraded 1 attack for the knights. Still no upgrades for me. You would think that I could add a war mail and add a Kodo Beast, but together that's almost 500 gold, and it was our decision practicing that we should focus on his army. Now, because I still have been no upkeep the entire game, I've mined the most from the gold that I mined, and any spendings I make directly, like units, items or buildings, will be untaxed, so to speak. Any spending that I give to Todd will be taxed. So it's me that takes the expansion here with the Great Hall, which will put economic pressure on the opponent. Of course they can walk their Tree of Eternity once it runs out of money, which will be very soon, in 30 seconds. But we'll be mining before they are. And all we want is to get good position. This is pretty nice. Maybe 5 bears can stand side to side here, 5-6 bears. Same thing here. So this is a good place for us. If we fight here like this, that would be bad. So we keep using vision. Very nice there by Todd, using this flying machine. Another invention that we made during the bootcamp of practice. We actually have a lot of vision from it. So they don't know that we can see them, but we do. Mine's starting to run out. Tree will uproot. Doesn't have the armor and movement speed upgrade yet, so we'll have to go to the gold mine. Soju checking here for a potential town hall being constructed by Todd.
Our gold mine has collapsed.
Keep using flares to see everything. Now, as you can see, the replay is ending soon, so let's do a situation report. We've got Soju. He's at 58 food. Final bear coming in. His upgrades are at 2 attack, 0 armor. And his heroes are stacked with a mana potion, staff of preservation, and a heal pot, anti-magic potion, and invulnerability potion. Notably, an absence of any kind of heal scrolls. Then we look at Remind. He's got a mana potion, a staff of preservation, and if we look at his Blade Master, he's got no heal scrolls either, but a lot of individually protecting items. Now we look at Todd. We've got Archmage completely neutral and empty, 2 heal scrolls on the Naga, and invulnerability potion on both the Naga and the Paladin, as well as a staff of Sanctuary. I've got 2 pendants of energy, full mana. I can do a lot of heal waves, the heal scroll, and another heal scroll on my blade, as well as an invulnerability potion. So in terms of consumables, we are definitely ahead. Supply wise, Todd has 80. I've got 54. Remind has 47 and Soju has 58. So it's looking pretty good for us. We're starting to soon mine from this base now. And we keep revealing them, giving a lot of vision. Taking down just one wisp. Annoying them. Maybe it's a little bit risky. He's still got that dust of appearance. That's why I run around the far side rather than going home here from the inside. Another flare being used as they are clamoring to get into the right position. Knights will zone them out. Raiders can't get any nearer than that. And we have a flying machine still. We still have the flying machine and we see the Blade Master. We add a lot of damage on it. He will be popping that invulnerability potion, but he's very low life. Will not be able to add the maximum amount of damage with that Blade Master, as he has to windwalk surely now. He has to windwalk. And he doesn't. I do an ensnare, take him down, 3 more hits, 2 more hits. And he uses heal pot. In the meantime, mortar teams are absolutely wrecking everything. Did you see that? Mortar teams killed the Shadow Hunter. They killed the Shadow Hunter. Maybe focusing the wrong target, but so funny. It died. GG. Game is over. And we take this game. Very, very fun game. With a special composition and an unusual ratio combination. Todd and I take this game. There are more 2v2s. I did mean to cast them with Todd, but it was difficult for us to find an aligning schedule. I hope you enjoyed this commentary, and I hope I'll be able to present the next commentary in not too long from now. Once again, special thanks to all my longtime supporters from WarCraft 3 to StarCraft 2 fans as well. And a big thanks to my longtime sponsor, BenQ Gaming Monitors, who made this series possible. Thanks for watching, guys. Keep an eye on my YouTube channel, give a subscribe or a follow, or leave some comments in the comment section, and see you guys next time. Thanks very much for watching. This was Grubby, over and out.